Give everybody a chance to log on. It's just now 2 o'clock. Gratitude for my noble Maso and y'all timeliness. Let's see. We'll give it a couple more minutes, nobles.
Islam Noble Maso, Islam Noble Belief.
Peace, peace. Peace, sister. Peace, sister. Isis.
Islam Nobles.
Islam. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, noble Alonzo.
Islam Noble, peace, noble God. Peace, peace.
How that weather are you at, man? It's chilly?
Yeah, it's pretty cold out here. I mean, cold for us. I mean, it's about it's 30s. It's like maybe in the high 30s.
Woo!
Feel colder though. Or even low 40s. It feel colder.
You got, I know you got something on your head. I know Noble Alonzo got something on his head in that cold weather.
Oh, goddamn, damn. Yeah, right now it's 35. No, it's 35 degrees right now.
Man.
Still the low. Yeah, yeah. Brick City. What's good? Peace, 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 peace. Peace, noble.
Peace, noble.
Peace.
Peace, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
How was your morning, B?
Oh, it was quite excellent. How about yours?
Man, excellent. I have to catch up on some work, but besides that, excellent.
Yeah. Aya.
Indeed. Indeed, we will be. We will be. Just getting off the clock, Noble?
Yes, sir.
Islam.
Shortly. Yeah, like 3 to 5 minutes.
I know Noble Lamarck said he was finishing the reffing, so he said he'll be a few minutes late. And so we give him honors in his, absence. Also, we want to give honors to Noble Dantes. He might not be here; he just had his son, and so we want to give honors to Noble Dantes for bringing his new noble in this world.
Wow.
Let me find the camera. Let me find the camera. He's going to be able to bring his son up in the science, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to do, and be able to. Peace, Mom. Shalom, Alakim, Mom.
Shalom. Peace, Sepher.
Greetings.
It's going to be a beautiful experience to see our noble bring his son in the world. So let's, everybody in the tech stream give Noble Dantes honors, man.
Yeah.
his empress had a healthy birth. And so,
wonderful.
Yep.
A boy?
Yep.
Great.
And so he's super excited, man, to bring his son up into science. And
I'm telling you.
And his empress is super excited what we're doing and able to witness this from the beginning. And I like to tell people it's always beautiful to see things in the beginning. It's always beautiful to clear our eyes out and to get our eyes, all of the calcification out of our eyes and see clearly. Because nobody can master you but you. No one knows your truth but you. You want to be able to compare things and make sure you're walking on the right plane. And that's what the true map and the guide does. A true map and a guide not only talk about it, but lead the way. That's what it's all about. And a map and a guide will give his or her life for what he or she believes in, without a doubt, without a question. Without a doubt over question, especially for his or her family, because that's what I live for. I honor my father, so I honor what I'm doing. I'm honoring us coming together, doing something that God wants us to do, no matter what you call it. So with that being said, nobles, let's do our Moorish American prayer, and let's get into the teachings.
Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Ay, Shalom Alakim, Rahman, Rahim, Al-Haq, Yamu Hamid, Islam, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, brothers. First of all, I give honors to my mom and my dad that's here, to Noble Malik, to Noble Alonzo, to Noble Maso, to Noble Brian, to Noble Barclay, to our other Noble Malik that's in Hawaii that's working, to Noble Dantes in his absence. He just had his son. I give honors to everyone, even those that's on Instagram checking us out. YouTube, I give honors because I was asked to please do this on YouTube. Some brothers asked me, would you do it? Gave a donation. So I said, no problem. After the teaching, if you'd like to give a donation, I'll let you know my cash app. If not, it's all love. So we have to talk about things because we're man and what's common. And what I like to always talk about two witnesses. As I always talk about my upbringing with IDMR, with Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley. And when I talk about that, let me spot like this. All right. And so when I talk about text, when I show people man is made in the image of God, and this stuff must be explained. And nobody, I don't care what color skin they are, if they call themselves a European Jew or this and that and the other, when you're a scholar, when you're an educator, it's an agreement. It's nothing to argue about. And I can use the books that they have in their hand to prove exactly what I'm saying. So those books that Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley is talking about, all those volumes, when I talk about Moorish science, the true meaning of Moorish science is man made in the image of God, or Elohim, the tabernacle made without hands. Now, when we're dealing with the other aspect, what Noble Drew Ali has resurrected for man, is connecting a nationality. What was taken from so-called mental slavery is your nationality and your spirituality, which you must have those two. Those two makes you a complete, what we call fifth. Those two makes you who you are, and I can't do that. That's something you must proclaim, declare, and have due process on. That's something that you have to be confident on. When I teach ADAPT class, when I talk about proclaim and declaring, when I talk about the SF 181 form, when I talk about the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, when I talk about the House Joint Resolution 75, we're talking about defending the Constitution. You can't change nothing that you have had nothing to do with. And this is what I be clear with people. I say, you can't overthrow we're not here to overthrow nothing. We're here to what? Defend the Constitution. So you must understand what the Constitution clearly says, what you have the right to do as human rights. And in order to get civil rights, it must come from human rights. And this is the civil aspect. The civil aspect is knowing how to be civil in the world, knowing what laws mean, knowing all this stuff, not arbitrarily explaining it, not getting all upset, but sit in a think tank with true wisdom. Nothing arbitrarily. That's the other aspect of moral science. You have the right to be whoever you are. This world, this globe is huge. The biblical scriptures don't say you just one type of person. So we get caught up with letting people put a line down our back saying, you Jewish, or you Egypt this, or you more this and all this. But nationality, race, and status has something to pertaining with law. I get biblical things, Moors, and I don't want us to get caught in that looking at your brother confusing things, because what we're here to do is synchronize the science. So when I talk about Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley's, and I talk about man made in the image of the tabernacle, the most place, the holy place, and the court around about, that's all man. That's all man that you see walking around here today. The Kabbalistic mysteries, which they like to say, that all the Jewish Europeans, no disrespect, because if we're talking about Jewish culture, when I travel all over and speak to different how can I say it, melanated Jews that understand that culture, this is no secret. They took things and reversed it. When I talk about the Baphomet, it's nothing scary. That's written Kabbalistic. That's written Kabbalistically. That's the Temple Abs Abba, the Temple of David. In moral science, what are we, noble Brian? Brian had to leave. What are we, Maso? Are we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood, Alonzo?
Tribe of Judah, lineage of David.
So my whole thing, I asked brothers, have you ever read the Moorish Quran? I asked these brothers that be so radical, Alonzo, have you ever sat down and read the Moorish Quran? No. Have you ever read the Silent Brotherhood of the East? No. So what we doing? I know what you're doing. A lot of our brothers done got in trouble in law and then met somebody on the internet and feel you can buy yourself out of something. That's not how that worked, because you was already free. You follow me? You follow me? We're talking about resurrection. So what I'm doing, I'm setting the stage. I'm showing things. I'm trying to bring people to the teachings, because today is Sunday school. I don't want to stay too far. And Dr. Kinley, I want to show you this synchronicity as we take this walk. So now, everything I'm talking about in Dr. Kinley, when Noble Bryant, when we did the introduction and we said Aya, Asher, Aya, and we're talking about signs and symbols. Before you would talk, you have to know what these signs and symbols mean. You have to know the Bible is written in parable, analogy, and symbology. You have to know the world is big. So if anybody that call himself an Egyptologist or Moor or a Hebrew Israelite, and then give credit to John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben and say those were their teachers, you cannot go against what I'm saying. Because I can show you the film with Dr. Ben, the Africans of Christianity, or Christianity's African history, based off the biblical scriptures, based off all texts. We give so much credit to people outside of us and the copy Jew, historically, religiously, everything. So now watch when I jump right into the 7 seals. Everything I'm talking about is moral science. That's why I said this is adapt teachings. That's why when I talk about IDMR, my makeup, my solid foundation, man, I study all the laws and the scriptures, all the Gnostic texts, so we don't gravitate to one science where we miss the essence of all the rest. You must understand all the occult scripture texts in order to call yourself some adapt, some teacher, some map, some guide. Your understanding must be based on something that's solid. And then in academia, we call it peer-reviewed scholarly research, where your word is bond on all levels. It must be. So when we jump into the 7 seals, which is nothing but moral science, and watch how I easily jump into the introduction to this and remove the veil of spookism, just listen to a little bit of this of the Kabbalic history, which all my Jewish rabbis, all my European Jewish rabbis, because I haven't seen my Hebrew Israelite brothers talk about it. All they talk about is some the Old Testament Apocrypha and start and be yelling at people on the corner. I'm not even into that. I don't do that with my brother. I try to hug my brother and show them some love and say who we are all together. So if you basing your stuff off the biblical scriptures, you're not even dressed like the biblical scriptures. You dress like the sea monster. You dress like the Leviathan. You can't be mad at me. I speak only from the scriptures. I show you all scriptures what the follower of Yahshua, what the tribe of Judah, what the Jacobites, what the Levites wore, royal priesthood, bonnets, the tunics, cotton or silk, with the embroidery on the top, the talent like I have on right here with fringes. I don't diss what nobody saying, but we ain't on there arguing with nobody. We should not be arguing. We should be showing love. I don't just tell nobody and be screaming some scriptures. Then you're using Greek text and then talking about your dress is not even biblical because you dress like the Undertaker. You remember the WWF wrestler? So you can't get mad. I'm not joking. You dress like the Undertaker. All the wrist things on it, that's the Undertaker. That's the Undertaker. That's the sea monster. Okay. They talk about Revelations 3:9, 2:9. You're talking about yourself. In the Old Testament Apocrypha, you missing the story. So watch me paint the picture. Watch me paint the picture. Now watch this. When I talk about Lavelle Gooder, I talked about this European before, wise brother. He gave credit to this man right here about saving his life. Research the European Lavelle Gooder, Levilegoddard, and I'll show you how you give credit to this man right here, the Ethiopian rabbi. Let me show you what they said about them. Let me show you this. Rabbi Ford. Who? Rabbi. Didn't say black, didn't say Hebrew. It's like didn't say the black rabbi. Rabbi Ford in the turban. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East when used by black religious magical workers. Reproduced from B.Z. Goldberg, a Negro Brit, Benai Brit magazine, New York, page 41, August 11th, 1927. So the only thing we owned was our churches and things. We had our magical workers from the East. The continuing of our Morse Quran is the silent brotherhood of the East. It make it plain. When you go through the adapt chamber of learning, the adapt chamber of wisdom, not no phone call. I said, I'm on a solid foundation. When you see these babies, they ain't in there arguing about nothing. They in there learning. Let me show you another pictorial, a good visual. I don't want to stay too far in it, but I'm painting a picture. Man, Muhammad Ali said, we don't follow righteousness. We follow people all dressed up. That's why he was like, man, I had to dress up to get people to come to the temple. Y'all see this? I'm going to show it closer when I read it. This says, Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews in 1920, Harlem, photographed by James Van Der Zee. And on the back, Van Der Zee. James Van Der Zee. You know who that is, Mom?
Famous, yes.
Yeah, I know. My mother is a scholar. That's why I say a lot of things is historical, and we're supposed to bring this stuff out to our children. And look what it says on the back. It says the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews. Now, before Israel created a state country, whatever, in the 40s, now you got to remember this is in the 20s. And they have the so-called American flag, and they have that so-called pentagram flag right in the back on the picture in the book. I'm gonna show it on YouTube again, but you see that? You see him? You see Rabbi Mordecai got his talent on. You see that? Y'all see that?
Islam.
You see Rabbi Mordecai with the talent on. So I'm just painting a picture, man. Like we can't get caught up in that. We can't get caught up in our brothers saying this and that, and all the texts agree with what we're saying. And so as I jump into the 7 seals, I'm connecting things. I'm glad Brian's home because Brian, I'm gonna need you to open up that email I sent about the Sepher, and I'm gonna let you kind of narrate. Then we're gonna talk about a little bit of that, and we done. We connecting, man, and we're gonna open up for dialogue. All this stuff, all this is more science. When I show this, the signs and symbols, I'm talking about the 7 seals as well. I'm talking about science. When I talk about the whole digestive system, the birth canal, I break that down to the tabernacle. And the biblical scriptures agree to what I'm saying. This is the metaphysics of the text. That's why I say man was made in the image of Elohim. You have to know this. If not, then you don't know more science. You out here as a radical. And the 7 seals is a metaphor of the occult. Just like in more science says, we don't gravitate to one science where we miss the essence of the rest. Just like in IDMR, we must study all the occult scriptures, all the Gnostic texts. It's a metaphor of the occult tools we can aspire to develop. Just like in our Moore's Quran in chapter 5, it says, these the tools, what, Brian, in the toolbox, that we use to build up what?
The temple of perfected man.
Come on, Noble.
Islam. Tools we use in the workshop of the mind.
See? See? This is synchronicity. As a human, but also as a spiritual being. We talk about that cherubim and that seraphim. By observing nature, specifically human nature. Specifically human nature. Specifically human nature. Specifically human nature. We have become masters at understanding how we work inside our mind. But also have we become adepts at hiding ourselves from the truth. Above power, there is truth. Engulfed in this truth, we cease to be simple human animals. We become filled with the essence of composes that the whole of the universe, and we finally understand everything. Many paths are pointing to the heavens, but all of them are challenging, either at the mental or the emotional level, and some even at the physical level. When I tell Moore's, man, and my sister can attest, my empress can attest, you know, she's out of town, she's coming back with her mom, so I want to give her blessings on their travels. But it's nothing that you can take to magically make yourself in good health. It's the work. It's how you eat. It's how you live. It's what you do. It's work. I don't have no magical pill. I say it's some work, and you can't hide the work. If you want to get to Friday, well, you got to go through Thursday. Islam?
Islam.
And the material is presented in a specific order that should awaken us to new spiritual concepts. If you say, you the Jews, you this, well, if you well, you know that you're talking about the Bible. Well, that's a spiritual book. Well, it's some work you got to do. You can't just plant nothing and walk away and act like it's going to grow without any tilling. And once you have gone through the entire science, you will be useful, and you can use this as a reference of what? Correspondence. When I talk about the 7 Kemetic principles, usually connotated as the Hermetic. And you can see a lot of aspects of the occult sciences from different traditions, but mostly revolving around the concept of the 7 seals. Just like when I talk about the Gautama Buddha, the serpent that sits on the 7 seals with the 7 heads, when I talk about the Gautama Buddha, when I talk about the Nagas people, this is science. And we continue to be revealing ancient methods used by the masters of these arts. Methods that usually were reversed only to the most devoted disciples. I don't toot my horn, but I am a disciple of this. You can put me somewhere with that. I'm coming out just like this, like in the lion's den, clean and pure. I've been through the fire. And I wish to share this science with you in order to possibly awaken some knowledge that you might already hold buried deep inside your consciousness. Why I tell you this? Because we all made with this. Let me tell you why. Because 360 is just the sum total of material wisdom. But see, Noble 720 is the sum total of both material and spiritual wisdom. You must master your higher self. And that's the keys that's revealed to man. To make man, woman, the master of their universe. I didn't say the outer verse. I said the universe. The universe. And many of us have these abilities and have yet to be discovered, and others simply need guidance to direct our experience with more efficiency. There's nothing wrong with a map and a guide. A prophet and an angel come from amongst your people. I look like you, I talk like you. I should be your anointed brother. Why not? I'm others that don't look like you, anointed teacher, rabbi. Our first goal is to open a door for you to even consider and look at and have something to look at with your spiritual eye. And you have to be encouraged to become your own master and not to be influenced by outside sources or religious dogmas. Because right where you got believe, you got a word called belie, believing in things that can't be proven. That's what we call blind faith. Walking across the street with all these cars coming and no car gonna hit you. Man, please, man, these cars coming. I ain't listening to you. And it doesn't mean that you have to give up your own personal integrity to do so. By learning to trust yourself, you will be able to trust others. And maybe you will open your mind to higher sources of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. But do not forget who you are and who is in charge of your life. And that's yourself, because you are God's. You are made in the image of what? The great God, Allah. You are the arm, leg, arm, head. You are the Yahweh standing up before words. What? In the image of man. You are what the Kabbalah talk about. We are what the 10 Sephirots talk about. As we close with that, as I connect these sciences and connect these ciphers, there's a challenge that all spiritual seekers have to face. And we exist and function with our human ego. All that was depicted as sin, jealousy, gluttony, avarice, all these things continuously result in deceit, confrontation. All of these are the basic attitudes of our human ego, which we like to call our lower self. It was once necessary to be possessive of our territory, of our mates, or to envy neighbor's clan to ensure our survival. That was then. These animalistic traits are not necessary anymore in the context of what we're talking about. And do not judge yourself too hard. These behaviors made it possible for humankind to exist as we are today. But what I'm saying, y'all, is only by mastering ourselves that we may attain truth and peace. Because nothing about you is evil. You must have balance. When I talk about narcissistic behavior, well, in the proper context, that's good. In the proper context, that is good. And in this science, when we talk about this Kabbalistic science, these 7 seals, I'm gonna go through, just touch about the many different types of exercises and techniques, which persist. They like to call it magic. Please, nothing is a secret. So when we talk about planes of existence, and just like in Idea Mar, it show you all the planes of existence of manifestation. When you talk about the birth, when you talk about the women's birth cycle, when you talk about the heart, the chest cavity, when you talk about the hippocampus, everything in there, what I'm talking about, I'm connecting it. The human experience is living on many levels simultaneously. And I'm just going to give you a small description of the different planes of human existence. And for more science and for more understanding and for more guidance, I would challenge you to come and learn. All the books, all the science that I have, I'm a real library for not only Moors to others. You can get it. Most people are only aware of the physical reality. Even then, it's filtered with the conditioning of the mind. And a few people will also be aware of their mental activities. And for the emotional plane nobles, the candidate or the student or the adept are even harder to find. And very few people feel the plane of willpower and bioelectricity. I didn't say just simple electricity. I said bioelectricity. And the 4 planes of the human existence are as follows: mental, emotional, ethereal, physical. Just like fire, earth, air, river. When they talk about the cross, no, man, we're going to get into this occult science. You can't get me caught up with the misnomer. We're going to deal with the sciences that build us up straight up. And there are other planes of existence at the spiritual level. But right now in this context, and our goal is for the practitioner or the student to become a master of human dimensions. You got to master what's on the earth plane first before you can master the dream world. And the mental plane is the plane where we think. And many people think, but very few are aware. Like me and my dad talk about, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You read something, do you understand? And is it applicable? Did you put it in your hard drive? Did you put it in your calculator? The mental activity and its different processes. To become aware of your mental plane, of your surroundings, you have to study yourself meticulously. And it's a necessity to discover which mental patterns you perpetuate because of social conditioning, social constructing, how you brought up. These conditioning patterns help us integrate ourselves into this society that we may live in. Our jobs, whatever we may do, whatever we may enjoy to do. But when we are not aware of them, they prevent us from reaching mental freedom. And we must not get rid of our conditionings. Just like we talk about Abraham Elam, the Magi, when I talk about ancient occult magic, says you don't have to change nothing. You just have a misunderstanding, and you need to be resurrected for a clear understanding, because everyone should want to be clear and walk clear on this earth plane. You need a clear understanding. But we must refine them so it can serve our expansion rather than fix us into present behaviors without awareness. That's why the mental plane is where the conscious learning process begins, Morris. Like a lot of men is emotional. They go from depressed to angry, from angry to depressed. That emotional plane resides desire, fear, and anger. It is the plane of attraction and repulsion. Although every plane has its polarity mechanisms, family, that's the plane where we define our preferences. When we look at the toothpick in someone else's eye and we have a log in others. Oh, well, I always do that. Oh, I'll do that. But all the good this person did, all the help they did, all the times they helped you 99s, the one time, or all the good a person did, we don't look at the other person like that. You know, we don't look at being miseducated and being led, all that. But we look at the toothpick in someone else's eye when the log is in ours. And most of the time, our reflexes come from buried fear and anger.
It's no, that's like, you know, we had the slogan all the time, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. You know, that's a saying, right? But in that saying, also, we know the first principle that the mind or the universe is mental, right? Everything is the mind. So when we talk about the social construct that we brought up, when we talk to think, I don't think we realize the magnitude in which that controls how we navigate our life.
Islam.
It's not by happenstance that we do certain things and we say that, you know, those are things. You know, so when we are programmed in doing things that may have had us at the particular point in time where we are in our lives today, now we're coming into a resurrection of the mind.
Islam.
Now you're taking responsibility. You know, once I was a child, I played as a child. You know, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Islam. And see, all this stuff is about inner things. I never, want to put nothing in no one else's hands. That's why the ethereal plane is the place of willpower, determination, activity, energy. The plane is the container of our bioelectricity, our life force, the level of that, which my mom talked about all the time, that chi. Like if your chi ain't operating right, man, if your pentagram turned the wrong way, you off balance. Your chi got to be balanced within. And this plane can be weak with laziness, strong with activity, in order for the spiritual energies, for their higher planes to get down to the physical plane. The ethereal energy body must be active, just like in our moral science, health and wealth and all that physical activity. And its channels must be kept clean. When I talk about the breathing exercise, when we work out every day, and now we do work out 5 a.m. and do all these things, physical exercise to keep your energy, your body healthy, to become aware of this body. You have to pay attention to the little feelings of flowing energy inside your limbs. And many people could feel these energies flow, but are mentally unavailable to aware of themselves, then they can't even accept such a thing that's possible. Like when I go around, I'm out here in Arizona, and when I be at the parks and I do things with other nationalities, when I talk about pressure points in the middle of your feet, and a lot of people be on TikTok following, no disrespect, Chinese and Tibetan people doing all these things, but all this stuff is is science. And if you connected to that, yeah, it's spots in the middle of your foot as you do certain things, and as you understand this, your body is a tool. You should use that tool in a great way. Just like when I talk about your arcana, your body, what do you do to replenish yourself? What do you do? What herbs do you drink? Oh, so a lot of people, I don't do this, I don't do that. So what do we do? Just do that? No, it's certain things that you can do to stay in good health. Like I'm 45 years young. I guarantee you, I'm not the only one that look like this in life, but I guarantee you can put me with the average men around my age and say they do something and I'll blow their ass out the water in physical health and strength and everything with nothing. Guaranteed. Guaranteed with no pills, with no nothing. All natural from Mother Earth. We got to be aware of ourselves. Then they can't even accept that such a thing is possible. That's why the physical plane is the finality of creation. And it's also the place where we naturally learn. And since it's the plane where our senses are naturally active. And in the physical world, everything takes place. And this plane to be aware of, to pay attention to, because here are manifested all the signs, the lessons, the dreams of our spirit, family. We all give more chance to our evolution by keeping a good physical health. Just like genes play a lot with how you look, but then when you keep a good physical health, man, you look rejuvenated. The sun be beaming off of you. You look particular. You look peculiar. You look different. You walk erect. Your shoulders are broad. Why? Because you're used of walking in a certain way. You look in the mirror. You practice what you preach. You see where you need to work on those things. Why? Because I'm me, and I'm the CFO of this and the CEO. We should take the time to observe our physical body and our physical surroundings to find out what we could resolve or make better. Every problem you will rectify in this physical plane with awareness, and it will also be rectified in other planes. I promise you, nobles, this is the spiritual aspect that you must develop. Like when I talk to my nobles, when I come back home, when I go to Thumb Correctional Facility, and they talk about, yeah, we got to pay for our sins and what we've done, like sins per se. But isn't it beauty when you filled up with something and you do that with confidence and understanding, and when you come out, you come out better. You come out with a true understanding. You come out resurrected, because everybody have a background. Man, if we didn't let Sweet Red become the man who he was, and if he passed in a young youth, we wouldn't have Malcolm, would we? We wouldn't have Brother Hodge, would we? Would we? Would we?
Islam.
Okay.
Romans 1:19 and 20.
Come on, Dad. And in this physical plane, we will be projected. Every problem found out on the plane of existence. And we should take the time to observe our physical body. We have to. That's why you must develop these virtues in our heart and in our mind. Act with power, speak with power and gentleness. Move and rectify your physical experience, and the spiritual worlds will open to you, revealing the powers, the abilities for you to have access to. There ain't no lucky rabbit foot that can do nothing to you. Forget the rabbit foot. I understand this, the outward symbology. If I get some anointing oil, it's just like washing your hands as a doctor. We're purifying. It's the essence that's doing the blessings. We're using the oil as an outward symbology. There ain't nothing powerful about this damn oil. The power comes from within. This is just the outward appreciation. And the first results will come quickly. Then you might be tempted to use the new tools without virtue, which we talk about what's in our Morris Quran, chapter 5. The tools that's laid out in every Masonic house. That's in the toolbox. That might just let you manifest more lessons in life. And isn't it great to receive from life what you put into it? Think about all this accountability. That's why I tell people, I say, man, we don't like accountability. Well, the devil made me do it. Well, okay, well, then the devil was in you. But you can't tell me the devil made you do nothing. Now, we could talk about a lack of, because everything that I've done as a youth and all the crime that I committed and had to pay for, I knew what the hell I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Islam.
That's why I can't get me caught up in that. I lead none of my grown men or anybody to no burning house. That's why the Kabbalah is the origin of most occult sciences and magical systems. That's what all this stuff to go to. When my noble Brian was talking about the Sepherats, and I guess he shared a post, and I said, noble, we got to remember, it's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing secret. It's sacred. It's nothing, no disrespect again. A European or a melanated person is going to have, and I'm saying I'm a scholar, educator, and I have a lot of background from a lot of educational houses to where we can prove what we're saying based on a history, on the reference. No Jewish, aka Hebrew text is going to go against what I'm saying. None, zero. 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 And I say that boldness with a silver tongue, eloquently. It's been used by all the magi, all the wise men. Okay, so if you don't have no power, or you think it's a mystery to see by the stars, huh? So you think they ain't go something that man made, it have the power of the brain. And you don't believe, they ain't see by the stars. You got to be crazy. I know how to navigate by the stars.
He took the brain,
Come on,
and the mind to make the object. That is, or the tool in use.
Sis, come on, man. This is too simple. We doubt ourselves. We say what we can't do. The brain, it might take you a little bit of time to figure out, but that's what the mind masters. It masters the mind. You think it's something else. No, your mind masters what? You master your mind. The science of the human being is considered to be a universe in itself. Everything in the astrological science is in your brain. All the 12 constellations is in your brain. And first developed by the misnomer Jewish, then followed by the misnomer Christian occults. This profound concept of the workings of the universe is applied to the macrocosmos. You know the macrocosmos. The big universe, the microcosmos. In business, in finance, when I talk about the macro and the micro, when I talk about the big and the little money, see, when I was in my endeavors, going to high school and elementary, I was blinded by just young stuff. But as I got older, I love macro and micro. I can teach any kid this about the biology and history and civics and law and finances and history, and they'll be amazed because I love it. I can do that with my eyes closed. The small universe of the human being, although anyone's interpretations is personal, to each his own path. We will notice that we get a more authentic experience by respecting the original Hebrew text. In fact, and that's what the Jews use. That's what the Sepher, that's what the Zohar is all. They know it. The Book of Mormon, they know it. I teach it. They my sons. No disrespect. They sons of Muslims. I speak from truth and wisdom, never hate. The only way to get the core of the Kabbalah is to ready the original Hebrew text, like a Kabbalist would. I'm telling you, that's all they doing. It's Kabbalistic, like the Baphomet. The Baphomet is written Kabbalistically. Eliseus Levi wasn't nothing but a transcriber. I'm telling you what I know. Big facts. It's nothing spooky. Real talk. That's how you get it, like a true Kabbalist, understanding of the tradition. Nonetheless, it is useful to start with the simple and mentally accessible tools that Kabbalah provides. So, as I give a little quick introduction, and Brian, you can put that little, if you have that that email, I sent it to Maso, and it's talking about the Sephirots, not all the books I sent y'all about it, but the email. Okay. And that's what. Yep, and that's what I'm gonna close with, because I say, man, I'm gonna start breaking everything out. I don't have to talk about things and just like, oh, look what they hid. Ain't nothing hidden. Like my dad said in that class, we ain't lost. We found. I ain't lost. I'm looking at you. I'm telling you out of my mouth. I can tell you who I am. You don't got to ask nobody. Ask me. For the record, ask me. I tell you. Without a doubt. With truth. In front. With a bullhorn. Ask me. I tell you. How you want me to shine? I said, what you want me to do? Matter of fact, I'm stamping it with my stamp. So the tree of life is a graphical representation of the complete system of Kabbalah. It represents the 10 planes of existence linked together by the 22 types of energies that exist in this universe. Each of the 10 planes of existence is a sphere called the Sepher, and it contains all the experience and creative powers of the specific plane. These 22 links between them took form in the shape of 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, or we like to call the Alph. The 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet gave birth to the 22 major cars of the Tarot and the astrological signs and the name of the angels. And almost every occult science of the occult has a link to Kabbalah. That's why Kabbalah is a very rich science that explains every aspect of human existence in an intellectually understandable way. That's why the biblical scripture said, break it down so a child can understand it. I can do that. I can take my teeth out, I'm giving an analogy, and we can get on mom's breast. I can do that. Beware, this science is deep and mysterious. That's what they say, but it's not. I'm just giving you prereqs. Right now, man, I'm giving you elementary wisdom. This ain't nothing major. And it could lead you to break your mind out of bondage. You want to do that. But when you learn, it must be accompanied with what? Prayer and supplication and meditation. That's understanding the principles of Kabbalah. The more we practice, we will become efficient. It's like Iverson talk about practice. Yeah, practice. Yeah, practice. How you going to get better at saving money if you don't practice? Are you going to get a check and magically have some money? You're going to spend that. You ain't practicing saving. That becomes a habit. Practice. Yeah, practice. Without an effort, it becomes natural. Practice. It is not necessary to learn the Hebrew in order to become a good occultist. Just like when someone say, oh, I speak Arabic, or I speak all this. Well, you an Arabic lie. I don't care if you speak Arabic. I know how to decipher everything. You can speak Arabic all day and still be lying. What that mean? Whoop de damn do. Show me anywhere where it's written you got to speak this many languages to be a truth seeker or a speaker or a teacher. You a lie. Now, it's good to know all them languages. But hell, they don't mean nothing to me. But it will help you in at least learn the basics of language, which I tell everybody to do. Learn the basics. Learn etymology, learn the root, get the lexicons, be able to do the work. Like the Hebrew alphabet. Just like when I talk about signs and symbols, the pentagram from, no disrespect, the European Eliseus Levi. When I show you what nothing but a transcriber. Apply some of the symbolic derived from the Kabbalah. Every detail has its importance and adds the efficiency of the talesman. When we do at the end, when we do our benediction, that's our talesman prayer. I hope y'all stand with me. That's why I'll be like, I can go back and bring you right back up and bring you right where to we are. This is too simple. True power comes from understanding the meaning of the symbols that create the final design. How are you going to put something together and you don't even understand the symbols to create the design? How? It's an inspiration for virtue and wisdom. It renders its full efficiency when the occultist has developed inside himself or herself the virtues that the symbols represent. And although the traditional Jewish Kabbalists will not endorse this modern version of the pentagram, it has been an important part of the learning process for the new modern Kabbalah students. When I say I'm gonna teach you the modern, then teach you all the way back ancient, for nobody can come, well, my ancestors and this and all that, or what they got from somewhere, we destroy that or illuminate it.
Islam.
We on good time. We on good time, man. We on good time. Watch this. That sign you just saw. The best way to learn the occult mysteries, as I'm going to show you, as we practice, as we go to the science, when you do the science, when you meditate, when you understand the signs and symbols, just like when you see Haile Selassie and his hands like in the salutation of certain things, this is no mystery. These things is our appreciations that do things inward. But we get caught up in man things, meditation on the lessons of life. It's with your heart that you become an occultist, not with your mind. And the goal of this science is to fill your mind with knowledge enough to connect you with other higher realities of understanding. Just like when I talk about the DMT, that spiritual molecule, that no disrespect when the Europeans' perspective, they take psychedelic drugs and all that stuff. But I can show you in history, your ancestors and also yourself, I can show you how to activate that DMT that rests inside your brain without no domestic drugs, without nothing outside. All we do is unlock that kundalini with what? Practicing and meditating. And you don't need no foreign drug, how can I say it? Genetic modified organism or something outside to activate what's within. You need no psychedelic. All the knowledge of the world would not replace the bliss of simple being in contact with what? With truth. That's why the tree of life, just like when I show all these signs and symbols, when I show y'all Dr. Kenley, the history, we don't have to have no disrespect again. I say this with pride and understanding. Man, a prophet and an angel come from our own people. I don't need nobody that don't look like me to tell me something about myself. And my brother and my sister that had a vision and a revelation. And then Noble Drew Ali gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. And we got two witnesses. And then we have a witness in myself that took both of them and then educated himself and all that and able to take something that was there and take it forward. That's what we're supposed to be all about.
Amen.
Islam.
Amen.
I don't need nobody out to tell me my ancestors been doing it. Not like this here. I'm resurrecting a teaching. All teachers said we got to bring something we can call ourselves, we won't diss nothing, a science, a school, a resurrection. That's what this is. We basing our stuff on true understanding. That's why the Kabbalah says, as above, so below. It's their way of saying we are made the same way the universe is made. Understand this. The great light of creation came from the absolute light without end, the Alpha and Omega per se. Pour it down like water to fill in the 10 spheres of existence, like jars. Stay in the context. The water of creation filled the first, then overflowed in the second, then overflowed in the third, down to the 10th jar, the spheres. I'm talking about birth cycle, just like in IDMR when I talk about the birth cycle. I'm just connecting it to the Kabbalistic teachings. I'm synchronizing the teachings. Stay with me. These jars, these spheres are called what? Sephirots. Stay with me. We connecting all this. Elementary science. The channels used by the flowing light of creation link the Sephiroth together and also permit the flow from one to another. So if you need flow from one to another, something must be unlocked. You need good flow. Just like your carburetor or your catalytic converter, you need good flow. There are 22 of these channels, each represented by a letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Maso, Brian. So when you post that Sephiroth, no disrespect, when a European, I found this is one of the oldest books in the 3,000 books in the world. Dude, my sheep been taught, stop it.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. They'll sit on their hands when I speak. There's 22 of these channels, each represented by a letter of the Hebrew alphabet. In each Sephiroth, God takes a shape, one of his infinite manifestations. Each Sephiroth has a universal soul, an envelope of itself. In each Sephiroth, a manager resides to lead its operations. And this manager is called what? The Archangel. The Archangel. Stay with me. In each Sephiroth also live concepts and spiritual beings. And lastly, each Sephiroth takes on a physical shape, a body, a planetary shape. Therefore, each Sephiroth has 5 distinct components. 1, the God form. 2, the soul. 3, the regent, the manager. 4, family of spiritual beings. 5, manifestations. I'm telling you. And by learning about each aspect of these Sephiroths and the 22 links between them, you can invoke these spiritual energies of the universe, these mechanics, these tools that's in your toolbox to help you live in your life today, assist your development, and resolve some of the problems that may rest in your mind and your life. And from this science, all forms of the occult magic came. When we talk about divination and astrology, numerology, the tarot, and so on. Just like when I say the Quran, the acronym of the Quran is knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, and nature. I hope you know that. If you don't know that, then you don't know the Quran. You don't know the cipher. You don't know. You playing around. And the 22 major cards of the tarot are, in fact, the 22 channels of the Kabbalah. So they can't come with no Sephiroth. I just gave you a quick a course on that, and I ain't even got deep. They'd be like, hold on, Rabbi Goodman Bay, can I talk to you behind closed doors? No, we're going to bring this all out. You want to get your books that I know all verbatim in my brain? You want to do that? We do not recommend big, long rituals. Like my dad said, I don't care about a ritual. You the ritual. You must know how to bring that from within. I don't care about no rabbit's foot. This is the teaching, the understanding. The outpouring of the Holy Spirit is understanding. And the diagram, the so-called tree of life, with its 10 Sephiroths. I'm going to show you number and order of their creation. They all have names in Hebrew, just like in the God name Bible, when it talks about all the names of the Messiah, Jehovah Jireh, or Yahweh this, Yahweh that. Just like 99 names of Allah, all this. Same thing. We ain't tripping. They all have names in Hebrew that will be given as I teach later. And with patience, with understanding and being a student, you can learn to understand the basic principles and start working in it. Understanding the direct meaning of each God name, each sphere, each region, each entity, each planet, to invoke them in your prayers. Just like when a lot of people watch Bobby Hemmett, and before Bobby Hemmett be speaking, he be giving prayers to deities, the Egyptian deities. I say, that's fine. I can just connect it all and show you it's all. If they mind open enough, what they say, they're scholars and educators, they'll know that. If not, then I'll be teaching them something.
Islam.
I'm telling you, man. All the stuff is the same, just like the signs and symbols. Check me out what I say. We almost done. The pentagram is a 5 penta, a point image, aka a gram, and made out of one continuous line with 5 equal angles. It calls upon the force of the 5th Sepher, the Geburah, the Geburah, the strength and the concept of movement and action. When we talk about cause and effect, aka we're talking about movement and action. Therefore, it is used in rituals to initiate the action of the operation, to call for a movement of energy. Is represented in your hand. Look at your hand with the 5 fingers. But most of all, nobles and empresses is represented in your body with your 5 extremities. Uh-oh, Noble Brian. Uh-oh, with your 5 extremities. Watch this. This too simple. 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. What's that?
Allah.
Okay. Checkmate. I'm like, I ain't even got to get. I ain't even got deep.
I was just about to say that. Papa Good.
You know?
It's a part of the pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like you were speaking about the macrocosm and the microcosm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It must line up. It must. The pentagram with 1 pointed up and 2 pointing down is the symbol of the virtuous man. Stay with me. I'm going to show you how they tilt stuff. Just like when y'all come out here, I'm going to take y'all to the Herb Museum for our 3rd Morris Ball, and I'm going to show you the misnomer swastika. I'm going to show you where Hitler got all that from. I'm going to show you in history. The European is nothing but a transcriber. Took history and whitewashed the history books. No disrespect. The pentagram with 1 pointed up and 2 pointed down is the symbol of the virtuous man. And using this symbol will encourage you to imitate the virtuous and expand your consciousness in your actions, in your deeds. Look at the symbol. Standing straight up. Standing straight up.
Upright.
Standing up. Come on, Noble. Up, come on.
Upright. That's it.
Not like, no disrespect. I got to be clear. Not like our we call it our black sisters. That's the Easter stars, where you see they stuff is tilted sideways, all off balance.
Yeah. That's the energetic shift. That's a whole energetic shift. Ain't nobody really paying that no attention.
I got to do it. The pentagram. You can't do the pentagram the other way without it standing up upright. You can't do it the other way. Then it's gonna represent something else. What? The opposite. Come on, man. This too simple. The pentagram can also be reversed to symbolize what? The falling man. And that's what they have, the falling man on them. Falling man. I don't care how you feel about me. Man, I'm an initiator of this. You're dealing with 99 degrees of ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. No disrespect. The European is my son. They'll tell you that the Negro is the joke of masonry. They'll say they not, because they'll tell you clearly that they're a son of a Muslim. I'm telling you what I know. This is no slander. You should be excited that you got a brother can speak like this from authority. Not from the, I heard, I wear this. No, this is facts. You got to be straight up. The pentagram can also be reversed to symbolize the falling man or the decadent being. It has 2 pointing upward and only 1 pointing down. It is mostly used by the unconscious and uninformed. The black magi's, where you put a dead in front of everything that black. Because in science and law, black means death. That's why Obama told you, well, I'm not the first black nothing. Obama was a lawyer. He knew that. He knew according to science and law, black means death. And that's why all the black masons, no disrespect, it does not really promote the expansion of depending on the direction of the pentagram and the energy is flow. Look, because here you go where your energy and flow is clogged up. This is what they have. They be mad at what I be saying. I say, I don't care. The European agree with me. Yeah, your pentagram is all crooked. Where I don't see no iron leg, iron. I don't see that. I don't see that on our empresses with they sign the symbols on their chest. I don't see that with my, no disrespect, with my dead Mason brothers when you got in memory of Haram Mabith. In memory of Haram Mabith, talk about some widow son. What you talk about?
And if a nation cannot rise any higher than the woman. And if the Eastern Star is using the pictogram that depicts her falling, you know what I'm saying, how can it be a rising or you know what I'm saying, a resurrection?
See?
Oh, no.
It's there in the signs and symbols. And depending on that direction of that pictogram, that energy to flow is either summoning, of banishing, inviting, or punishing away. In the lower earth, banishing pentagram ritual, we are starting from the earth point, the lower left, and doing a clockwise movement to the up point, then the lower right, the left point, then the right point, and finishing at the beginning and at the lower left. And this is somewhat a clockwise movement, and it's banishing. That's why the clockwise movement is banishing. I'm telling you, in this context, it starts at the earth point. So it banishes lower dense energies. Demons and ghosts, just stay in the science, are usually afraid of this banishing pentagram. See, when they see me and I bring out all the signs and the symbols, and I bring it all, man, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I'm a ghost buster. I don't care what color you are. I'm a Ghostbusters. I know what you're afraid of. I know what you fear. Of the misnomer Black Messiah. No disrespect, but you can't put nothing black in front of me. You just talk about the Messiah because God made me like this. You will be asked to draw the pentagram in the mid-air with your fingers when in more signs stand to the east and all that. Man, I don't care if you lay on your ground like a pentagram. The closest place to find Allah is in the heart. I'm going to show you the position of the element of the rectified pentagram. You can understand the reverse pentagram, how the spirit below. The four elements, meaning the human animal, is stronger, and the spiritual being than the spiritual being. So when you have things straight up, you have a free flow. I mean, this is what they talk. This is what the Sepher is all about. What I sent all y'all nobles today, all the names, all that stuff. I'm gonna get even deeper with it. They always try to give themselves names, like the Atlantis of latter days. They try to call themselves Alien. It's nothing but the Osiris mysteries. Even my kufi with one of the sayings and one of the names on it, one of the psalms on it, I'll show you what it really means. If you don't know, they try to implement themselves. I don't hate nobody on that, but like I say, I'm coming with the science and I break it down, and we live it.
Yeah, Elion just means the Most High, correct?
Yes. So when we talk about spirit, water, fire, earth, air, or fire, earth, air, river, whatever, we invoke the pentagram in your rituals. You got to be clear in your mind, right? The pentagram has to vibrate in the spiritual planes with your willpower, determine visualization. It must vibrate with the energy of its purpose, the goal of your ritual. Your ritual is your spirituality, what you do, being Moorish. See, that's the what? Living every day. It ain't that you got to go in the closet and say at this time and this time to do a salat. Because in my book, I break it down. I don't hate tradition, but I base my understanding on the scriptures. And the Al Salat was done at a certain time. And the rest of the time was for the slave to go out. And we knew that was time they're going to be out for a while. So that was my time for the rest and and relax. I'm a God. I deal with the Al Salat. And that's what it's told to do at a certain times of the day. Anything else, I don't have no problem with nobody doing nothing. But don't say it's law. Don't say that. Don't come to me with that. Because I don't do nothing orthodox. Stay with me. It also must vibrate with those energies. All that. So this Sephiros, man, as we closing up, y'all, and I just let Brian just put a little something on there I want to show y'all as we close. Just like when we talk about Yahweh, just like when I talk about the Somos code, I've done so many times, I'm going to start breaking all this stuff back out. The Somos code, the Hayya, palindrome word. When you got the Hayah, and you got Y in the middle, and you got Yah to the right, and Yah to the left. As I start breaking all this stuff down, what the Europeans agreed to me, breaking everything down, it's no mystery. You all over the world. You're looking at your brother and your cousin. And so these Sephiros, we talk about the name of God vibrating, just like Om. We're talking about God vibrating, the absolute highest form of God, the undefined, without name, without shape. It can't be known, understood, or spoken. It can't be described since it does not exist in the manifest form at no level of the created universe. It is the creator, the absolute uncreated void and null and complete. The mind can't grasp the concept. It can only accept that there is a concept and that only faith, only understanding can grasp it. The names of God or Allah or the 99 names, whatever you want to say, are the highest mask over the face of the absolute, undefined God. Calling the names of God, we tap into the highest form of energy available to humans. That's why when you can break down those 99 names of Allah, just like in the Bible, it's all the same. And understand those working and when it and those powers when it manifests, the absolute God flows through its creation. That's why the scripture says man was made in the image of God. He made he, she. And through the mass, he holds over the creation. So we can see one side of us at one time. By calling the name of the creator, we are summoning his most holy powers to flow through us and permitting that change in us. Then the scripture says, praise the holy name. You don't even know the holy name because I ain't seen a Hebrew give himself a Greek name. I ain't seen that yet. Good check. Okay. So that's why we got to understand this, man. And as I close, the light is everywhere. The light is everywhere. And the light is in you. And the more we get out of hate and get into learning ourselves and building a tabernacle with man and sharing this wisdom with our brothers and sisters, we'll get to where we need to be. Because this is a true resurrection. Can you put that up real fast as we close and we'll, open up the floor? Because we got time because I don't want to be too long. I challenge us to study because in adapt class, I break this stuff down more and more and more. I go over the books. I go over everything.
You just have to make me the co-host.
I didn't make you co-host yet, Brian? Oh, I'm sorry, no. All right. So a lot of things coming out, a lot of things that I show, when people like to show different nationalities saying, look, the European teaching us this. And the European be like, well, your brother already been teaching you this. You don't need me to tell you this. It's nothing new. The scripture says a Messiah and a prophet and an angel come from amongst your people. That's what it says. We don't need no one else to come to deliver no message. I mean, and if our brother and sister's not there to give the message, then I get that. But a prophet and an angel come from amongst your brother and your sister. It's written.
Hey, Sheik, you may have to take off the spotlight.
Oh, yeah, my fault. I think you better now, Noble. Yeah, my fault. Apologies. And I just want to share this and we'll open it up.
But it's still showing me a message when I try to share. It say host disable participant screen sharing.
I did. I don't know what I did. I did what? I don't know what I did, Brian. I don't know. Me don't know, Brian. Hold on. Well, I have to figure it out because I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. Let me see if I can let me see. Now, I don't know what I did, Noble. Man, apologies. But what I was giving you is everything I was going to share. I was going to break down a little bit of the Sepher just for you guys can see it. But we'll share that for next week. We'll share that for next week teaching and jump all the way in it. I send it to everybody. I usually send everybody these expensive books for small pennies for like $5, $10 donations, and then I break them down. That's how I help you build up your library. And then the historical books, the law things, all the nationality part that go with what we're doing can be looked up anywhere. I give all this in adapt class. I break down law governs all events. So all this stuff can be got once you come into class and learn it. And you can have it for yourself. You can touch it. You can study it at night. And you come in adapt class and you have questions and we have dialogue because we're supposed to walk out the house in synchronicity.
It's pardon me, Sheik. So the problem may be I'm here logged in twice.
Okay.
Two names. So you may have made the wrong screen name the host.
Shoot. I don't know how to not, man, Brian, I don't know what the heck I'll be doing. Let me see. Oh, you on here twice? I don't know how to do that. Oh, wait, let me see. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this, y'all. If not, I ain't tripping. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, well. We have it for next week. It's going to go all along. I'll send it to everyone. But I broke you a little introduction down about the Sephiroths. But I wanted to make sure, I want to get you the book for you all can look at it and have it for dialogue. I'll make sure everyone get it. And that's what everyone on YouTube, that's what you get when you come into class. It's not just someone up there talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. We break this down because we are a school. You know, and I like to break things down for questions, but you can't have no questions if you don't have no basis. You'll be basing your understanding on a whole bunch of what ifs, and what if this and what if that. And I'm not here to ask a whole bunch of what ifs. And you'll have me all day because I can say, okay, then what if this? Well, what if this? And I'll just do one of the 48 laws of power on you and do the mirror effect and do the same thing you're doing to me. So as we close, do we got any questions, man? Like I say, the Idea March, the Dr. Kinley books, is so powerful as we continue to jump back in this connecting man made in the image of God. All the occult texts, the seven seals, the Sephiroths, the Sephirat, all those Jewish texts, which are Hebrew texts, they all come from an essence of understanding that we don't have to diss. If you understand the story, because it's all a story. So let's tell it from a perspective of understanding. Now, the laws and the history that we deal with more science, it can't be arbitrary. Explain. It must be explained from truth, and the truth has no sides. And you'll be able to take that anywhere and stand on truth. So with that being said, man, any questions, man? Oh, you open it up. Somebody got it. What's that? Who opened that up?
Yeah, I made with the other account. I made myself the host.
All right, pull it. Go to the top as we close. Go to the top. I want to show you all this. So, my noble sent up in the text stream because we, communicate with each other through the course of the day, and he sent the post of a, European guy talking about the Sephiroths, and he had the pleasure to have this 3,000-year-old book, and it tells about this and God, this and all the other. And I opened it up, and I'm like, wow. And I said, well, I lectured this years ago at the college campus, and I have all the books that they talk about. And I say they must agree with what I'm saying. Scholarship and education, a lot of them be educators. They have to agree. That's why I said there's nothing to argue. I'm going to use your book. So as you go down to it, I'm not going to break it all down, but that's the Sepher Yetzirah, the book of formation. The letters of our father Abraham, per se. We talk about the Hebrew text, understanding. And by the means of the 32 wonderful paths of wisdom, of hosts, Elohim of Israel, man was made in the image of Elohim, living Elohim, and eternal King, what they call the El Shaddai, the merciful and gracious high, and uplifted, who inhabits eternity. Exalted and holy is his name engraved. So if the name, they say praise the holy name, what's the holy name? I bet you got to have some L in it. And he created his universe by 3 signs, by border and letters and numbers. See, look at the 10 intangible Sephiroths. Look at it. It's letters. It spell out something. I break this stuff down. When I did this in my oral dissertation, man, I got to stand in ovation. That's why I said I'm just waiting for my people to do the same thing that the other nationalities is doing, is accept their rabbi, accept their brother, and teach it, and have our own infrastructure, and do it with pride and understanding. You see how right there, the Sephiroth names, italic in the Zohar, the Roman equals the Sepher Yetzirah. I talked about it, but people didn't understand what I be saying when I break down the Zohar and the Talmud. I said, this is what they know. A lot of them don't know, but you have your brother to break this stuff down and make it easy for a child to understand. That's why the first you have in the middle, or the Kai that we have on our neck. We talk about the knowledge of the what? Of the first. All these powers you should understand. This free-flowing energy. Go down a little bit. Then you got the 10 intangible Sephiroths, the 32 wonderful paths of wisdom, the book of formation, 10 intangible Sephiroths. You see this? 22 letters, as I just broke down, are the foundation, right? 3 are mothers, and 7 doubles, and 12 simple. There are 10 intangible Sephiroths, the number of the 10 fingers. I broke this down, didn't I? 5 opposite, and in the center is set the covenant of unity, like the organ of the tongue, and like the organ of the nakedness. Just like Dr. Kinley broke down. Keep going. Look at this. The 10 intangible Sephiroth, the 5 pointing, the 5 opposite 5, 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 the 5 opposite 5. When I started doing all the hand things, you would know what I'm saying. 10 intangible Sephiroth, the 10 and not 9, 10 and not 11, understanding with wisdom, and be wise with understanding. Test them and explore them and understand the matter thoroughly and restore the creator to his place. There are 10 intangible Sephiroths whose measure is 10 without end. We measure it in a cipher. We know the 0 is the placeholder. So I'm just giving you introductory science to get you to come to class and get you to learn about yourself. Depth of the first and depth of the last. Depth of good, depth of evil. Depth of above and depth of below. We talk about Kemetic principles. Depth of east, depth of west, depth of north, south. All this understanding is in their teachings. All of it. The 10 Sephiroths whose appear is like lightning, and those limits are without end. They speak with each other, and to and fro, and they run at his word like the whirlwind. And before his throne, they bow down. There are 10 intangible Sephiroths whose end is fixed in their beginning, and beginning fixed in their end. As the flame is bound to the coil, the Lord is the only one, and he has no second. And before one, how can you count? Keep going. Go up. I'm telling you, because all this stuff about language, understanding the science and alpha and understanding and how to spell, I'm telling you, big facts. Look at this sign, the symbols. Look at this stuff. Keep going, Noble, because I just want to narrate and we out. Look at the holy dwelling place. So stop right there. Go back down a little bit. Just like in IDMI, we got the most place, the holy place, and the quarter all about. Look at the go down. Look at that. Look at these signs and symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look what's in the middle. Look at the covenant of unity. Look at all this science. Now go up. Watch this.
Like you say, it's 6, and then there's 1 in the middle. So that's a 7. It's a circle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like I'm talking about the 7 seals. I mean, come on. Just like when I get the C. Freeman L chart and I put it up. What? The holy dwelling place until eternity. There are 10 intangible Sephiroths. Shut your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. And if your mouth runs to speak and your heart to think, return to the place. For thus it is said, and the living creatures ran and returned. And upon this word, a covenant is cut. There are 10 intangible Sephiroths. 1, spirit of living Elohim. Blessed and blessed is the name of him who lives forever. Voice and spirit and word. This is the Holy Spirit. 2, air from the spirit. He engraved and hewed out through it 22 letters as a foundation, 3 mothers, 7 doubles, and 12 simple. And they are of one spirit. 3, water from air. It's like in the morning, you see the dew of the earth. How you think it's all wet like that? The dew of the earth. Where do you think that come from? The water, the air, creation, the dew of the earth. He engraved and hewed out throughout its emptiness and void, mud and mirror. He engraved it like a kind of garden bed. He raised it like a kind of wall. He surrounded it like a kind of ceiling. 4, fire from water. He engraved and hewed, out through the throne of glory, fiery angels, opening, and holy beings, and ministering angels. And from 3 of them, he established his dwelling place. And it said, who make winds his messenger, the flaming fire, his ministers. 3 letters from the simple ones, he sealed air through 3 and set them into his great name. You see the Hebrew letters and sealed through them 6 extremities.
Talking about them 7 seals.
Come on, Noble. Come on. See, they don't want to play with that. See, man, the blessing should come down. Like when we talk about in Hebrew cultures, when they talk about their holidays, this is what it's talking about. This, the outpouring of the knowledge. So it ain't nothing to give donations of a 10th to this. It's nothing. It's what we do.
Circle 7 is man or Master Abraham and Noble resting in paradise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And circle 7 is the man, like how you say it's the 10 extremities. You know what I'm saying? basically how to see for how you breaking it down.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to say, Noble. I like this. The arm, the leg, the arm, head. You got to get all these sephirots to make the arm, the leg, the arm, the head. It got to be all body. Got to be full extremity. Everything got to manifest all those to make up. It might be a million things to make up one arm. It might be a million and blah blah to make up that arm. So I know what you're saying.
Islam. That's for safe to make it simpler for someone who's just reading. You can go to the supreme mathematics and it kind of gives you that too. You know what I'm saying? When you go through from the 0 to the 9, so to speak.
Yeah.
Those are the 10 numbers with the 0 being the placeholder. But it also, from the 1 being the knowledge, the 2 being the wisdom, and the 3 being the so on and so forth.
Islam. So 5, he sealed above and he turned upward and sealed it with, you see the Hebrew symbol. Sealed below, turned downward and sealed it. East, turned forward and sealed it. West, turned backward and sealed it. South, turned right and sealed it. North, turned left and sealed it. These 10 intangible sephirots are one. All one. Spirit of living Elohim. Air from spirit. Water from air. Fire from water. Above and below. East and west. North and south. Are we still together? Page up.
Just like how I said, how could you count before 1?
I don't know. Come on. Chapter 2. 22 letters, our foundation. 3 mothers, 7 doubles. 12 simple. 3 mothers, the Alf, the Mem, the Shin. The foundation is the scale of the merit scale of guilt, and the tongue of the statue, balance the scales between them. 3 mothers, the Alf, the Mem, the Shin, the men. Stand still, Shin hisses. Alf is air of spirit, balancing the scale between them. 22 letters are the foundation. Engraved in them, he hewed them out, combined them, set them at opposites, and formed through them everything that is formed and everything that is destined to be formed.
Oh, man.
See, the 22 letters are foundation. Engraved through voice, hewed them out through air, set them through the mouth in 5 places. Look the symbols. That's why I said, man, you got to know how to read and break the spell. I told you I'm a ghostbuster. The Alf, the Set, the Hef. Look at all the symbols. All realize the chakra. We talk about the throat chakra. The Gemel. We talk about the archangels or all this stuff. The palate, the Dalit, the Nun, the tongue, the Zion, the Semek, the Sin, the teeth, the Bet, the Meme, the Pi or the Pei, the lips. 22 letters are the foundation. Set them in a cycle like a kind of wall with 231 gates. 231 gates. The cycle rotates forward and back. Go up, Noble. We almost there. You can't deny this. And the sign of them and the sign of things is there. Is nothing in goodness above pleasure. And there is nothing in evil below plain. Look at it. See, that's why when I speak, it's from scholarship, it's from wisdom. When we talk about the 231 gates, how did they combine them? When they talk about that, how do they weigh them? How do they set them opposites? The Alf with all of them, and all of them with Alf. All is science, how it rotates and turns. Because they are 131 gates, and thus everything that is formed and everything that is spoken goes out from one name. When we talk about this formed substance from emptiness and made what is from nothing, it's who cut great columns from air, which is not tangible. And this is a sign. He covers and sets at opposites and make everything that is formed and everything that is spoken with one name. And the sign of this thing is 22 counting like one body. See, this is what they want you to know. Chapter 3, 3 mothers, the Alf, the Mem, the Shin. Their foundation is the scale of merit and the scale of guilt and the tongue of statue, balances and scales between them. We talk about the 3 mothers, a great secret, but ain't nothing secret. Let's talk about the great sacredness, the wonderful and concealed. And he seals them with 6 rings when you're going to see the figure. We talk about that inner court of meditation. When I talk about that most place, that holy place, and the court around about, you hear it keep talking about the three, where the three makes up a whole bunch of things. And from him go out fire and water dividing into male and female. We talk about that YHWH, that Yah and that way making a woman, that Baphomet, that male and that female, three mothers. We talk about that Alpha, Mem, and Shin are their foundation. And from there are what? Born fathers, which everything is created. Stay with me. We almost there. I can get into when we talk about immaculate conception, man and woman creating life. That's the I'm done. Three mothers, the Alpha, the Mem, the Shin, engraved them, hewed them out, combined them, weighed them, set them at opposites, and he formed through them. There we go. The three mothers, again, in the universe, the three mothers, the Alpha in the year, and the three mothers in the body of male and female. Come on. You got to understand all these signs and symbols. Look, page up. We having a glorious time. The Holy Spirit is in this place because understanding is pouring down onto man. That's the point of the Holy Spirit. When understanding poured down on man, it's worth blessings.
Those three mothers, you know what I'm saying, to me sound like the most holy place, the holy place, and the
quarter roundabout. I get what from somebody that looked like you, that had a vision and a revelation, the same way your brother is having. We don't diss that. We got our own teachers. We got our own educators that can bring their own chair and a table to anything. Page up, Noble. We almost done. The inner court meditation. Look at the inner court meditation. Seals them with 6. Three mothers. Again, the Alpha, the Mem, the Shin are in the universe. Air, water, fire. Heavens were created first from fire, and earth was created from water. And the air balances the scales between the fire and between the water. We talk about the three mothers again: fire, water, air, and heat was created from what? Fire. Cold was created from what? Water. And temperature state from air balances that scales between them. Big facts. Let's go up, man. This elementary science. They don't have nothing. This elementary science. Here we go to three mothers again. Are in the body of male and female. Fire and water and air. Head was created from fire. Belly was created from water, right? And the Jania or the Jivia was created from air, balancing the scales between them. And he caused the letter Alpha to reign over the air. And he tied a crown. And to it, he combined them with one another. And he formed through them air. So you get this and this and get air. Like when they say, what is it? Yellow and blue makes green. It takes those two to make that element. Can't have one without the other to make that combination. In the universe and the temperature state, in the year, in the Jivia, in the body of male with the Alpha, the Mem, the Shin, and the female with the Mem, the Shin, and the Alpha. You see, all the way, but backwards. Called the letter the Mem to reign over water, and he tied a crown to it, and he combined them with one another, formed through them, the earth and the universe, the cold in the year, and the belly in the body of a male with Mem, Alpha, Shin, and female with Mem, Shin. When you see that so-called Baphomet, that's written Kabbalistically, that's giving credit to man, Tim Hope, Abba. Called the letter Shin to reign over the fire, and he tied a crown to it, and he combined them with one another. And he formed them through them, heaven, the universe. Heat is the year, and head is the body of the male with Shin, Alpha, Mem, and female with Shin, Mem, Alpha. I'm going to stop at chapter 5 because I don't want to stay too long. We're going to finish the rest next week. Chapter 4. Here we go again. The 7 double letters. Look at all these 7 double letters. Come on, you got to understand when we talk about things that mirror, behave with 2 sounds. So then you can relate to the Bible, the Gimel, the Shemim, all this stuff that we're going to connect right back to man. The 7 double letters. When we talk about their foundation is life, peace, wisdom, wealth, grace, seed, and dominant and dominion. The 7 double letters again are such in speech and as opposites. The opposite of life is death. The opposite of peace is evil. The opposite of wisdom is folly. When I show you all these books by these Europeans that I got ancient, we talk about the great folly. The great folly is opposite of wisdom. When I show you all these books, the great folly, and they be laughing at y'all, not us, but Negroes, and they be putting what they saying in the book. And then when I bring it out, I say, no, the European is nothing but a transcriber. This is nothing but folly. When I use folly, I use historical things that they know. I bring all their books when they say the great folly. So this is the opposite from wisdom. You can't fool me. Like the great lake, like great Towers Riley said, you can't fool me. Come again. You can't fool me with that. The opposite of wealth is poverty. The opposite of grace is ugliness. The opposite of seed is desolation. The opposite of dominion is slavery. So when you talk about the 7 double letters, our opposite 7 extremities, from them 6 extremities, above and below, east and west, north and south, and the holy temple is set in the middle, and it supports all of them. I hope y'all just caught that. So the 7 double letters, the 7 and not 6, 7 and not 8. Test them and explore them and understand the matter thoroughly and restore the creator to his throne. The 7 layers or the 7 double letters are the foundation engraved in them. Hew them out, combine them, weigh them, set them opposite, and form them through them. 7 stars in the universe, 7 days in a year, 7 gates in the body of male and female, and from them he engraved 7 heavens and 7 earth and 7 Sabbath. Therefore, he cherished the 7 under all the heavens. See, I ain't talking about nothing but more science. Y'all understand this. And these are the 7 stars in the universe: Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. And these are the 7 days in a year, the 7 days of creation, and the 7 gates in the body of male and female: 2 eyes, 2 ears, and the mouth, and the 2 apertures of the nose. When we talk about the 2 nostrils of the nose, the 2 makeup of the nose. And through them, he engraved 7 heavens, 7 earths, 7 hours. Therefore, he cherished the 7th of every object under the heavens, caused the letter bit to reign over life, tied a crown to it, combined them with one another, formed them. Saturn is the universe, the first day in the year, and the right eye in the body of male and female, caused the letter Gamel to reign over peace, tied a crown, combined it with one another, formed through them Jupiter in the universe. Now we talk about the clock of destiny. So in these times, you should know what can happen, especially with birth, because everything from the seed comes out. A woman be on drugs and get her head knocked out by some goofball Negro, that baby gonna come out timid. A lot of stuff gonna be like that. You eat nasty stuff, that baby gonna come out with high blood pressure, all that stuff. The 2nd day in the year, and the left eye is the body of the male and female. He caused the letter Dalet or Dalet to reign over wisdom, tied a crown, the same process, formed through them. Mars in the universe, all this stuff, all these different times, caused the letter Kaf, the sun in the universe, the Pei, the Pi, the P over grace. That's where you get Venus in the universe, the 5th day in the year, the right nostril in the body of the male and female. You got, he caused the letter the Rish. Like in science, we talk about the Rish, or like they say the Rishi, to reign over the sea, and he tied a crown to it, combining one another. That's Mercury in the universe, the 6th day in the year, and the left nostril in the body of the male and female. Caused the letter Tav, reign over dominion, tie the crown, same process. That's the moon in the universe, the 7th day in the year and the month, in the body of male and female, 7 double letters. So when you get all them 7 double letters, through which he engraved 7 universes, 7 heavens, 7 earths, 7 seas, 7 rivers, 7 deserts, 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 years, 7 sabbatical years, 7 jubilees, and the holy temple. Therefore, he cherished the 7 wands under all the heavens. I'll talk about the 70 elders and a whole nother thing and make it real simple for you. 2 stones built 2 houses. 3 stones built 6 houses. 4 stones built 24 houses. 5 stones built 120 houses. 6 stones built 720 houses. 7 stones built 5,040 houses. From here, go out and think what the mouth is unable to speak and the ear is unable to hear. 2 stones. Look at this now. It's double. The 3 stones. The 4 stones. I broke this down and so forth and so on. And I'll at least stop with chapter 5 and we'll connect next week. Chapter 5. Let's finish chapter 5. Let me finish chapter 5, Noble. And we out of here. See? They'll be sitting on their hands like, Shalom, Rabbi Goodman, Bey. And I'll say, Alakim Shalom. My Jewish brother. 12 simple letters. You see them. You see these letters, the Hef, the Vav, the Zayin, the Shet, the Tet, the Yad, the Lamed, the Nun, Semet, Ayin, Tizad, or the Quoth. Their foundation is speech, thought, movement, sight, hearing, work, sexual intercourse, smell, sleep, wrath, taste, laughter. 12 simple letters. Look at them. I ain't making nothing up. I broke them down. Their foundation is the 12 borders of a diagonal or a diagonal. A diagonal. I hope you look this up.
Diagonal.
Well, I say, well, it's misspelling, but I'm saying it for that. No, I'm trying to make a point. It's misspelling, but we talk about when you make a, how can I say it? Just like when I was talking about, that pentagram, right? Remember we were talking about that pentagram and how it must sit up a certain way to be called a pentagram.
A pentagram. Right.
You see, it must sit a certain way to be identified, because there's no such thing as a sideways pentagram. It means something else. Man symbolizing must be straightforward. Everything that symbolizes man and Sepher must be in a certain manifestation or line up, as my dad said. It got to line up. East, north border, east below border, south above border, southeast border, south below border, west above border, west south border, west below border, north above border, northwest border, north below border. And they continually become wider forever and ever. And they are the arms of the universe. Now let's look at the pentagram. Let's look at the diagram. I ain't making nothing up. I can use my compass to do this. This ain't nothing but the compass and square. This is our logo. Y'all know that, right?
Islam.
Okay. I'm just telling you, man. Come on, look at it with your eyes.
Islam.
Everything I do symbolizes man. We give credit to the builders. It takes some foundation. What you gonna measure it with? This compass. Proceed. Page up. Noble. We almost at home. The 22 letters are the foundation. The 22 letters are the foundation. Double pyramid tree. The double pyramid tree. The 12 simple letters. I broke down again. Engraved the foundation as they did already. Used them. Set them at opposite. Formed through them the 12 constellations in the universe. I'm not going to get into the 6 because then I'm going to break all this that's in your mind. I just told you earlier, I try to give you little bullets when I said everything in the constellations is in your mind. The universe, the 12 months in a year, the 12 organs in the body of male and female, 12 constellations in the universe are what? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. We know that. The 12 months in a year are what? Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Avi, Elul, Tishri, Shivan, Kisel, Tevet, Shavat, and Adar. The 12 organs in the body of male and female are 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 kidneys, the gall, small intestines, the liver, the maw, the stomach, and the spleen. Cause the letter Hef to reign over the speech. Tie the crown to it. Did that whole process. And through them Aries in the universe, and Nisan in the year, and the right foot in the body of male and female. Here we call the second letter the Vav to reign, tie it all together, formed through them Taurus in the universe, right? And Iyar or Iyer in the year, and the right kidney in the body of the male and female. Caused the letter Zayin or Zion to reign over movement. Did that same process, formed through them what? Gemini in the universe, and Sivan in the year, and the left foot in the body of male and female. You see, I'm building up, man, with these Hebrew scriptures. I hope, man, y'all, man, if we were at the church, they'd be saying, amen, pastor. I can't get no amens. I can't get no Islams. No, that's playing. But he called the letter Chet or Shet to reign over sight. Did that whole process, formed Cancer in the universe. And Tammuz, it's like in your biblical scriptures, in the year and the right hand in the body of male and female. Caused the letter Tet or Tit to reign over hearing. Did that same process. You get Leo in the universe and Av in the year, the left kidney of the body in male and female. You call the letter Yod to reign over work. Tied it, did that whole process. That's where you get Virgo in the universe. Elul in the year and the left hand and the body of male and female. Come on, man, go page up. I'm building the body. I want to make sure I give you all your extremities. I don't want to hear you out here having a messed up birth. He caused the letter Lamb to reign over sexual intercourse, and he tied down the crown to it. Did the same process, formed them Libra in the universe, and Tishri in the year, and the Gal in the body of the male and female. Call the letter Nun to reign over the smell. Tied it, that whole process, you get Scorpio in the universe. Shishavan in the year, and the smell intestines in the body of the male and female. You got the Shemek or the Shamak, reign over your sleep. Did that same process, you get Sagittarius in the universe. The Kislev or the Kislev in the year. That's the stomach in the body of the male and female. We got the same, except the different birth cycles, that's it. Called the letter Ayin, reign over Rav. Did that same process, and that's where you get Capricorn in the universe. The Tevet or the Tevat in the year, and the liver in the body of male and female. So you get all these, you get the letter Tzad or Tzaid to reign over what? Your taste. Did that process, you get Aquarius in the universe, and Shavat or Shavat in the year, and the Maw in the body of the male and female. Called the letter, that next Hebrew letter, the Quof or the Quof, to reign over laughter. Did that same process, and you got Pisces in their universe, and Adar in the year, and the spleen in the body of male and female. Same thing when I break down the idea of Mar. We broke down all the parts of the body. He made them like a kind of sunset. I'm about to show you the figure. And just like the clock of destiny, see, man, see how, and I don't even need the clock of destiny. Because the clock of destiny, volume 2, you got the sun in the middle with what? All the rays and the astrological signs in it. With who? The son of what? God in the middle. There ain't no picture of Muhammad. That's the sun in the middle. Come on, talk to me.
Islam.
Made them like a kind of a sunset. Put them in order like a kind of a wall. Set them in order like a kind of battle. The sunset. Check it out, nobles. Page up. We're almost done. See? You see that? Look at the rest of this. Look at it. Set them in order like a kind of battle. The book of formation, 5 and 7. See, like my dad, got to line up. See, I know about formation. You can't get me with that. I know the cipher. A lot of stuff I bring out, but it got to line up. What you measuring it with? I'm talking about formation.
In Islam, it says he set them in order.
What?
He set them in order.
Oh, that's formation, baby. So I stop right there. I don't want to get in the battle with 6. I want to stop right there. You know, open it up for a little dialogue, then we done. Anybody have any questions?
Well, that's just like how when Yahweh told Moses to make everything according to the pattern that he showed him. So what you showed, there was a pattern to everything, to all creation. And you should be able to follow that pattern. Yep.
Because I'm proving us right. It's nothing to prove wrong. You just been taught wrong. You've been taught wrong. You don't need to change nothing. You need the right interpreter. You need the person to break the cipher down, to come from love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and my 2 cents, health and wealth, and break this down from understanding to make anybody, I don't care what they look like, sit on their hands.
Yep.
You know?
It's just like the 12 simple letters, how you were saying, the brain has the you can see how the 12 astrological signs are, how that 12, those two have 12, basically parts of your brain that correspond with the astrological signs, and as well as those 12 letters.
Yeah. Just like about when I talk about Empress Tamara El Gossett, when I talk about the Hex Alpha, and when I talk about all that, the fez and the graduation cap. You got to know this. You got to know these signs and symbols don't come from no one else. So you don't know what the Hex Alpha and the graduation, when I talk about 360, and I can put the fez and the so-called graduation cap in the same, and they both have 360 degrees of wisdom. You have to know this, or you don't have no business wearing no fez on your crown, because you get this when I put the turban on your head and give you the science.
Yeah, here it says the foundation of speech, thought, movement, sight, hearing, work, sexual intercourse, smell, sleep, breath, wrath, taste, and laughter. And these are, how like motor functions, but like things that are designated by certain areas of the brain.
When the brain is not working, the body atrophies.
It's wrong.
It's some artificial keeping it going. So everything is about the body. That's what I break down. That's why I break down in my upbringing. When I break down this man made in the image of Elohim, man, I'm not going to argue with nobody. A person could talk about the 12 tribes, all this, but I'm gonna show you that just showing landmass. I'm not gonna argue with nobody because I'm not a slave. I'm a warrior priesthood. If I'm gonna connect anything, I'm connecting myself to God and the Levites. I ain't never been a slave. I have no history of slavery. You know, I understand some people do certain things, but I'm not gonna let nobody tell me who I am. I'm not gonna let nobody diss our royal garments and see somebody else dressed up like you and ain't nothing but a transcriber and a copied you all through history, from the Wiggum party to everything. I can show this, even in masonry. I can show this from love. Europeans and most Negroes are only 32 and 33 degrees Masons. It's no disrespect to no one. A lot of our brothers took oath, and I go against what we teach them, because when you take an oath, you're not going to teach people the true science. You're going to, I call it like a fairy tale. You're going to leave them out in the middle of the wilderness and disappear.
Islam.
So any other questions, man? Like I said, I'll give y'all gratitude for the donations. Everyone that gave a donation to Cash App, $KG Babe. But I put things in your hand, and I teach from love. I don't teach from hate. We have a lot of cultures. Yoruba, Orisha, Santeria, the Zulu. I give all credit to all Credo Matua, Sheikh Sufi Spalls of the Morandine. I don't diss our culture. I don't diss none of the sciences. I can't speak on being a medicine man and a true adapt, understanding the triple roles and living it if I'm a diss anything. I don't speak from the. I said this is your custom. The turban, the bonnet, aka the kufi, and even our national headdress. There's certain ones that do it with pride. That've been doing it for all over. Our noble Ali was inspired by Deuce Muhammad and Abdul Hamid Solomon. Man, we have Moors a long time ago. Our prophet reintroduced something to us, but these biblical scriptures tell a story. It's just an add-on. You know. So I leave it at that, man. Any questions like us? I leave it at that, man. I'm not here to debate with nobody or tell nobody who they are or say everybody is this or say, oh, this, not the other. I'll tell you who I am. And this is a proclaiming, declaring, and having a due process is your choice, just like everybody else did. And I'll never get into an argument with my brothers and sisters over no religious book. I'm going to get with history and tell you who I am. And everybody that's rocking with me, we agree who we are and go to the next level. But anything else, I couldn't tell you what nobody else think or what nobody else believe or how do I feel about that, because I don't feel no way about nothing. Every day is going to be somebody going to jail or getting in trouble or just barking like dogs or just marching for no reason. I don't got nothing to do about that. I don't put my energy in talking about no. I put my energy in what we doing. I know we own land. I know we getting ready to have our third Morris ball. I know our noble just had a son. I know we building a real curriculum. I know I'm able to travel and speak in academia. We have a library that have a plethora of books, and we steady doing a solid. So everything else, I'm like a horse with blinders on. I can't save the world. That's not my mission. But I can save those that's around with me that understand my voice. That's a prophet and an angel. So that's a choice. So I'm not here to tell no one to debate my brother and sister and let them divide and conquer on us and put me in the dang pantheon like they did in the Roman days and have us fighting like gladiators. I would never do that. I would never do that with my brother, because I'm on YouTube too. I said I would never do that. I would never get on here and do that, because that shows the stupidity and the lower self that they have us fighting each other on YouTube. I'd never do that. Because what's understood, I don't have to explain what's understood. The European agree with me. They my son. And I can say this boldly. They sons of Muslims. I'm not saying it with pride or boastness. I'm saying it because that's just who I am. I like cheers. If I got to go to a place, Nobles, where I got to have security and make sure I have guns when I come out, why do I want to be a place like that? I want to go places where people know my name. I don't want to go in my community where I have to have security and somebody finna kill me. I lost my brother to the streets. I lost my brother to murder. Somebody that looked like that killed my brother, killed Jelani Goodman Bay, and my cousin Miguel Swain, and my best friend when I was in school, middle school and elementary, Michael Blackmore. So it's us. Black lives don't matter to no one. All this crazy stuff, even people is banging on religion, this, that, and the other. I'm not gonna entertain that. Everybody know what this feds represent. If a person's not right, the feds don't make you righteous or unrighteous. You are unrighteous. It's just so happen you got a feds on. What if you have a Yankee hat on? You're going to say, oh, look at that Yankee hat man. No, the man is a criminal. You know, not the feds. This is a national heritage. This is tarboosh. This is royalness. They wear it in secrecy, clandestine. I don't wear nothing in secrecy. So that's what I tell my brothers and sisters, man. We're not here to tell nobody who they are. It's here for you to tell them who you are with pride and lay it out like that, because you have the right to proclaim, declare, and have due process. You have the right to have a tribal leader. You have the right to practice your religious sciences and spirituality. You have the right to wear your religious clothing. You have the right to not assimilate with no one else. You have the right to have your teacher and teach. You have the right to do this. And that's where I leave it, man. And with that, I say Islam.
Islam.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Noble.
This is Brother Blake. When you first got into this teaching, did you ever have like an emotional anger because like there's so much stuff that you didn't know and then you finally come into it? Because I be angry, bro. Like some of the stuff you teach that I'm watching, I be so heated, like I really be aggravated, bro.
See, that's why I love this paradigm, man. Yes. That's why it have to be something like excitement and yes, but not at nobody else, Noble. Not at the European or the Albert or Trudite, not at that. Because I come from Flint, Michigan. I've been in ministry, I did all that. As I'm out here in Arizona, the wisdom and all that, I just see how blind we are. But yeah, man, I see the confusion. I see how everybody follow the criminal stuff on the internet. Yeah, and it's very simple. We don't support things like one a European told me, and another more of like, man, if you was dressed like I can't say that person's name, acting like how you doing all this and dressed up, you have way more people because it's a gimmick. And I said, I don't have a gimmick. Like if I put out all my bling and be all here talking about, hey man, I can show you how to do this. That's all the people that won't. They won't care about this. They'll be like, oh man, he showed me how I can do this. I'll be scamming. I can't do that. All these people with these fake IDs, I can't do that. So it's a lot of criminal things. Sovereign citizen. How can you be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time? You can't even explain that with a straight face. No one. How can you be a sovereign and a citizen? Explain that. That's an oxymoron. No one with a straight face can explain that to you.
Anyways, because you got people running around talking about the sovereigns and I forget the other word is de facto.
De facto, they de facto. Yep. They say.
Myself, but why are you still here?
Ooh, I don't know what's
why they go buy an island, something like that? White dude from putting the Grand Virgin Records and go south their own country, but they're still here talking about they don't want to be a part of the government. Well, what you a part of? Where your money at?
They talk about you finna expatriate.
On Facebook, man. Facebook is actually promoting that right now.
Yep.
I think Facebook is trying to jam people up because they have like a whole app up there talking about separating themselves from the government, but it's run by Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Book showed today in class, showing people now all of a sudden everybody seems to be coming out with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people on Facebook that's following, I know you don't use names, but
yeah.
The one with the rock. I think he's the same one you call Raccoon Head.
Yeah. I told you, same one. Yep, I already know. And that's why I'm glad y'all this different paradigm when people come into this science, y'all, and they don't want to be honest and talk about things what's going in. That's why I say this is a cipher. Like now we open it for conversations, and listen, I'll give about 15 more minutes. You 100% right, Noble. All on YouTube, you can pull up sovereign citizens. They not part of this de facto government. They some foreign national. Well, I'm gonna tell you how can you be a foreign national? Show me where you got allegiance to. When you expatriate from this de facto government, Noble Malik, you become a domestic terrorist right here at home, not abroad. And in certain states, renunciation your citizenship is a felony. They ain't looking that up. Renunciating your citizenship is a felony in certain states. You said it out your mouth. They don't understand traffic law. I understand about common law and all that.
Them dudes on the highway got caught.
Yeah. See?
They were coming from Providence, Rhode Island, coming into Massachusetts. They got caught real quick.
See? And so that's why I'm glad we have these conversations for we can talk about even when more say, oh, I know it's I don't want to pay taxes. I said churches don't pay taxes, dude. You don't have to do that. Everybody part of church, if they pastor teaching right, the whole church, which you are, if the members, you are tax exempt. Not no building. Y'all make the church. So it ain't just for me to get done. I pay no taxes on regular purchase and vehicles. It's for y'all too. Because without y'all, it wouldn't be a church damn body. The building ain't shit. I'll do this in a tent. I'll come to every noble house and lecture. I'll come to every more city. We don't need no building. We already like that. And every state to state, just like different churches and things, you have a branch here, you have your branch here. You still taxes in for the federal government, religious, scientific, education. All your members can make purchases and don't pay taxes. That ain't nothing special. That's understanding organization. Their religious rights trump everything. Your religious rights. I just talking about organizing, doing things the right way. This is power. When I talk about everything, so I don't do anything the wrong way, I explain it. I'll give you something to compare to, just like what I'm doing now, to say, look, where are you getting this stuff from? I can talk about it. Everybody that say they don't know what I'm talking about some Moorish American conflict, they done heard that, and I told y'all that was fake. And ain't no such thing as a Moorish American conflict. Y'all saw the bald-headed man, and everybody, Grand Sheik, say they was doing that. And I told y'all what's getting ready to happen. Jail, 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 jail. And then they go right back doing the same thing. Because as I close, and I'm gonna give a real analogy. Say if I'm in the streets hustling and all y'all work for me and I get caught up and I get right back out and I still selling y'all work. And you know I ain't right. And I go from state to state to do this. That means I'm an informant. That means that's my job. That's my job to get y'all in trouble. That's my job to do that. That's my job to put it out on the internet and get everybody caught up. That's my job to get all these stupid people. Because in court, there's no excuse of not knowing the law in the court of law. You can't use brainwash. So yes, it's all set up. If I got to keep doing this to work, just like a person get caught with drugs, you got to keep getting cases. That's contingent on you being out. You signed a contract. Your contract, and if you're doing this, that's on your contract. So every so often, you got to do some stuff. You might pop in China, change your name, say you want the fashion design, and boom, 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 and do all this. And then you with this person on the highway. Then you pop back up in the city under a different name. And don't know, I know you squatting with my houses. The federal government sent me all that. You got dragged out by the task force. You can't change your name on the internet because you call yourself Abdul Hamad Rashmir Toenail. And then later you call yourself blah, blah, blah. You are who you are, and the laws follow. So that's why I'm glad we're having this, man. And this Moorish science is nothing illegal. It's nothing criminal. This fez means something. It can be a dunce hat or it can be power. Our turban means something. Our kufi mean things. It's no special power that this fez is going to do. If you working and you a truck driver, nobody would never tell you to get rid of your operator's license to do what?
Little thing.
You see?
That little thing that you put stuff in.
So with that being said, man, I don't have nothing else, man. We got anything?
On the back.
But Noble Malik, put your head size in the text screen so I can get your fez to you, man, and get you turbans and things. And we have turban tie-in classes. Yeah, whatever fitted hat you wear, how you like your fez to sit on your head, just let me know and I'll get it to you. I'll get you a turban and everything, and we sit down and practice how to wear our head wraps. Because that's a practice. That's the whole science. That's the whole form of meditating, is tying your turban. You know what I mean? And so that's just for me. A turban or a fez don't make you nothing. You don't have to never wear this, but for me, it's an outward appreciation. And for modern muftis, it's an outward appreciation of knowing who we are, of resurrecting ourselves. We don't have to be in clandestine and secret groups because it ain't nothing secret. It's sacred. We out in the forefront with our tassels not pinned down, with pride. And so I'll leave it with that, Noble, and I give you honors, Noble Malik, for being patient, because Noble Malik been around for a minute. If a lot of people don't know, I've corresponded with Noble Malik, and like I said, it's only going to be real brothers that come. That's like the Army said, many are called and only a few are chosen. This is a gift. We don't know no one's time. That's why I don't hate on people, but when your heart starts pricking with you, and you're like, man, it's something else. It's a better way I can do this. Then that's on you, and I'm right here. When the student is looking, the teacher comes. Point blank.
I learned a lot from watching a lot of this videos, listening to, because there's some crazy dudes coming out here. Because there's one dude, like I told you, he's the part of, I think it was number 13 or something. I'm not sure what state that is, temple number 13 or something, but he was giving papers out to a bunch of people, like forms or something to fill out. Social Security card, front and back, and all that. And I started thinking it was kind of strange, right? And you talking about nationalization and everything, because the sister that's here in Boston, she has her own business. She let him use her space. Then he started stealing from her.
Mm-hmm.
So then he left out of there, trying to get people to meet with him in the library and stuff. But you might know him, go by the name of Sepher.
Yeah, man. Noble. Yep. Noble. I'm gonna show you a whole list. I shared it with my nobles. It's called the domestic terrorist list for 2022. All of them groups on there. It ain't nothing to hide. I like this free information. I said the 2022 terrorist list, they all on there. All on there.
Different people out here. I'm like, where you from? Oh, I come from over here. I'm like, what group was you part before this? Because like, dude used to always call his